Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today is Sunday Comics, and I put out on Twitter, what would you guys like to talk about? And apparently people want to talk about Batman and the Outsiders, or at least Oscar. Oscar Carreno, the colorist for Eddie is Doomed. He's also the artist for Eddie is Doomed and the colorist for Heroic Tales. Well, one of the two colorists for Heroic Tales. Forgive me, I'm waking up slowly. I always have a rough wake up on Sunday. I stay up way too late on Saturday nights, doing absolutely nothing. Well, if reading comics is absolutely nothing, then that's what I'm doing. So, on my second cup of Tim Hortons coffee, and I just used the last of it, so I have to drive out to Tim Hortons. And Tim Hortons just opened near me. I'm just going to adjust this. That's a little bit better. Tim Hortons just opened by me, so that's real good. I like their donuts. I won't even touch a Dunkin' Donuts donut anymore. The Tim Hortons donuts are like one step above Dunkin' Donuts, but they taste better. They actually have taste. It's not just sugar. When you bite into a Dunkin' Donuts donut, it's just an explosion of sugar. Like it's like just white sugar. No flavor, nothing. You might eat one donut, you eat the same. Tim Hortons has flavor. But then a friend of mine, Bex, she told us about the Wayne, I can't think of it, the Wayne something bakery. Glen Wayne Bakery, that's it. It's out here in Suffolk County. And it's like better donuts. They're made locally. And there's an industrial park. And you just drive into all this industrial area. And then there's an outlet. And you can get the donuts that are made super fresh that day. So yesterday we took a ride out there. I got 6 donuts. She got 6 donuts, my wife. I got all various forms of chocolate. I'm going to sneeze. Why do I always have to sneeze when I go live? And, they're awesome. So that's my second favorite donut. My favorite donut is still in Brooklyn, the Peter Pan Bakery, but that's like an hour and a half drive, through Brooklyn. So I don't get to go out there too much. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know what's going on. All right. So let's address the chat. So as normal, I'm available. Yeah. Heroic Tales is available on Indiegogo. You could get the Mike Gustovich cover. You could get the Renzo cover. You could get the coin. You could get the pint glass. You could get all that over on Indiegogo. If you haven't backed, if you're waiting on the fence, how many days left? I got 10 days left on Indiegogo. And if you want to get the Renzo cover, just I as a favor, could you go on Indiegogo? I just wanted to get it over that $500 limit. If you want to get the Renzo cover, if you want to get the Michael T. Gilbert cover, the Pat Broderick cover, you got to go to Fund My Comic, which is still available. And that's over here, Fund My Comic. We got Dave Brink over here. Dave Brink, how you doing, Dave? Dave's my buddy over there in Europe. He seems to understand America better than most Americans. He understands American superheroes better than most Americans. How you do, Dave? Did you get my comic? Did I send you a comic? Torchbearer Studios, Steve was just here. On Wednesday, we talked about he's coming out with a comic called The Thug. Draws dinosaurs. Does anybody know why the Outsiders were called the Outsiders? Well, we'll check it out when we get inside. I got a few things I want to talk about. Come on, all people being nice to each other. I like that. On my way to South Carolina Con Junior. So it's a small con, or you call it me Junior. Marcus, seems to be a lot of cons out by here. Have I ever gone to Canada? Tim Hortons are everywhere. Yes, my wife is Canadian from Winnipeg, and her brother lives in Toronto. So we go to Toronto. Well, we haven't gone in a while, but we've been to Toronto a few times. And, I love Toronto. I never heard of Tim Hortons until I married my wife, and all of a sudden they're everywhere in New York. But when we first got married, we were driving to Providence, Rhode Island, and as we were driving, we saw one, and it was a big one, like a restaurant one. And my wife's like, we gotta go, because she has. And I was like, what the hell is this place? I had no idea what it was. I was like, this is the best coffee I've ever had. So Tim Hortons is the coffee of my choice. Marcus is throwing out the links. I got my blessing from Zach Tan, so I'm good to go. Marcus is doing his, oh man, awesome. If you take my recommendation seriously, and I'm not saying you should, that's up to you, but this book, Perfect 10, is a good superhero book. It's he's got the same colors as Daniel De La Silva Rodriguez, so the coloring is awesome. The art is good, and Dave writes a compelling superhero story. It's one story, so you're gonna have to get 1 to 5. It's Perfect 10 wakes up, and then you're learning the world as she's learning the world. It's simple yet brilliant, and it works really well. Pulls you in. Just good character development. And thanks, Dave. Where are we? Oh, a smaller than South. Oh, okay, I get it now. Smaller than South. It's one to Andy Smith. Tell them both I said hello. Andy Smith is a good guy. Dan Fraga is awesome. I doubt Dan Fraga will remember me, but I'm sure Andy Smith remembers me. Does this cover have actually to do with the story, or is it an evergreen cover? Yes, it actually has something to do with the story. You'll see. Could be received. Oh, I didn't mail the hard copies yet. I only did digital. The hard copies, the floppies, the physical copies have not been mailed to me yet. So that I did the digital fulfillment because I did not want to, one thing at a time. I wanted to get one thing over with. Good morning. Definitely want to get Perfect 10. Yeah, you should. It's a good comic. Oh, so if you want to get Perfect 10, here's the link, and I'm pretty sure Dave has a catch-up tier. Okay, so this is Batman and the Outsiders. Let me adjust my broken camera. See how it's always slightly askew? Because I broke it and I didn't pay attention to the details when I glued it. So so this is Batman the Outsider. What year is this? But this is Jim Aparo doing the artwork. And this is Mike W. Barr doing the writing. And I got to say that this is like Mike Barr is a good writer, but I like him. I got no problem with Mike Barr, but Jim Aparo is my Batman artist. I just something about his Batman is the way I picture Batman in my head. I guess I'm an oldie, so. But so the story behind this is The Brave and the Bold was being canceled. And Mike Barr and Jim Aparo were writing that at the cancellations. So there was a hole in the DC lineup. So they didn't want to. Everybody loves Jim. Jim's a professional. Jim Aparo. So they said, we're going to change it. We're going to make another Batman book. So they just use the same team. So what do you got? And I think Mike Barr just pitched this team together. And so there's a mix of new characters and old characters. So we got, of course, Batman. And this is the satellite era Justice League. And Batman just leaves the Justice League. And I remember I was so excited when Batman was leaving the Justice League, because in my mind, and I still say this, that Batman works best as a solo character. Yeah, I know he's got Robin and all that Bat family, but I just feel like Batman is a solo character. He's like Spider-Man to me works best by himself. Wolverine should work best by himself, but he's like part of the X-Men. He's ubiquitous, the X-Men. But like Wolverine works best as like the gadfly in a team. I think to me, my way of thinking, Batman is a guy who works by himself and occasionally seeks others' helps when he knows he's out of his league. And no pun intended with the Justice League. But so I was really excited when he quit the Justice League. So, and then he formed his own team. I was a little mixed on that, but I could see like a control freak like Batman, like, all right, I'm not in control of the Justice League. I'm going to start my own team where I'm the boss. So I thought it was a good move. Now, what I really liked was he quit the Justice League. So he left the comic book Justice League, because at the time they did it in Marvel, they were aware of character overexposure. When the Beast left the X-Men, he wasn't in the X-Men anymore. He was in the Avengers. When he left the Avengers and went to the Champions, he wasn't like, they were aware of like overexposure, and it kind of made like a realistic view. Like they gave up on that in the Axel Alonso, Joe Quesada years of Marvel. It was just like Wolverine's on every team. He's in Madripoor. He's in the X-Men. He's in X-Force. He's in X-Factor. He's everywhere. He's in Marvel Comics Presents and his own series. So it, like, you just have to like forget about like, when is this happening? But at this point in DC history and in Marvel history, there was a real attempt to make it like a continuity, like a legit continuity. So if Batman was in Batman, he was in Detective, he was in the Justice League, and he was in the Outsiders, they legitimately thought like you were going to get tired of the character. And they also said it's kind of strains credibility. Like, so they went, they literally had Batman quit the Justice League. So so this cover is indicative of what's going on inside the comic. All right, so let's look at these comments before I open up the comic. The last great Jim Aparo artwork. Yeah, he retired shortly after this. Joe Dog, how you doing? How's it going? You love this comic? Yeah, this was one of the few comics. Again, this was before the Crisis on Infinite Earths, so it wasn't really. I wasn't really super into DC, but a friend of mine, my friend Mike, who's doing Marshall Strong comics, he got me into Legion of Superheroes, and he got me into Infinity Incorporated, and then just word of mouth from everybody got me into Teen Titans. So I was already collecting 3 DC comics, but I wasn't really a DC guy. And then this came out, and then this had connections to new Teen Titans, so I got it. And the connections is this character. And so let's get. So we all know Wonder Woman, we all know Superman, Flash, Firestone, Elongated Man. Character that just took me the longest time to accept. I just hated the name Elongated Man, and like, he was one of the examples of why I didn't like DC. Bouncing Boy, Elongated Man, Lightning Lad. To me, like, I just couldn't get into DC with character names like that. And then you have Batman, and then over here you have his team. So you got Black Lightning, who already existed. Black Lightning already had his own comic. He already had his spin-off character in the Super Friends. They called him Black Vulcan. I don't know why. I think Tony Isabella like rights, or maybe I forget, was Black Vulcan first and then Black Lightning, or Black Lightning, but I think it was like a right, so that the cartoon owned the character. Then we have Katana. She's in the Birds of Prey and everything like that now, but this is her first appearance. We got Metamorpho, who already existed. Metamorpho is one of those names that I just hate, like when you put an O at the end. Like, the only exception, there's 2 exceptions. There's Electro and there's Magneto. But everybody else, you just throw an O at the end of it. I hate that. I hate that so much. Metamorpho is the exception. I don't know why. There's something about Metamorpho that I just like. The awkward costume. Just I don't know. The character I really like. And then this is Halo. I know she's got an O at the end, but it's an actual word. It's not just chair O. And then we got Geoforce, a character that took me a long time to like because I hated the name Geoforce. Mike Barr, legendary comic book writer, just his original characters have some of the worst names I just can't get into the Geoforce. You know, Katana's a good one. Halo's a good one, but like you'll see the bad guys are awful. This I shouldn't like this comic, but yet I do. Norbert Fogel and Jim Aparo, the Batman artists of my youth. Yeah. I got to agree. Exactly. Some of the characters are solo characters. JLA are basically solo characters thrown together. To me, it just isn't interesting. I do like all of the flagship characters together. Batman's a weird character. He works in the Justice League, even though in my mind he works best by himself. It's a paradox. I don't know. But I don't like Wolverine in the Avengers. I don't like Daredevil in the Avengers. I don't like Spider-Man in the Avengers. You know, the Avengers are like a government sanctified super team. They're almost super cops. You know, Daredevil's not a super cop. Spider-Man's not a super cop. Wolverine's not a super cop. Like each team should have a flavor. Fantastic Four are family. X-Men are outcasts. You know, Daredevil's not an X-Men. I like that Beast with his gregarious personality and desire to fit in goes from team to team to team, almost like a mutant ambassador. I like that Batsuit. Yeah, I do. These shorts are a little too big, but they're almost like bloomers. The Beast went to the Defenders after the Avengers. Yes, that Defenders was basically the X-Men because it had Iceman, Beast, and Angel, and then Valkyrie, Gargoyle. You know, it's that was a weird era even for the Defenders, which is a weird team. DC stopped letting him ink himself after this. Why is that? Is there a story? Was he too slow? Was he getting sloppy? Why didn't they let himself ink himself? It would make sense to have at least two teams, a large team of street level heroes that could be everywhere and big guns. These Silver Age character names are often silly. Yes. Bizarro, it works, but it doesn't work at the same time. I don't know. What else would you call that character? Bizarro. I just don't like the O's at the end, you know. Froggo. Hey, it's Froggo. I loved issue 5 where Batman is outside his team up with the new Teen Titans. Yes, that was the story that got me because I bought that because I was into the Teen Titans. So I bought that to collect, and then I went and got the back issue. So I did not get this issue 1 off the shelf. I went into a back issue. Look, my hair is all crazy. I went into a back issue store. So I started collecting with 5, went and got 1, 2, 3, 4 because of that crossover. I'm not a fan of Spider-Man joining the Avengers. Yes. That's how I know if you're a comic book fan or a movie fan. You know, if you like Spider-Man on the Avengers, then I know you like the movies rather than the comics. Hey, Dirty Fatty, how you doing? Like everybody and share. I like everybody, and I share with people. I got manners. Oscar, you picked this, so I was hoping you'd show up. Good to see you, Oscar. Everybody saying hello. Everybody saying hello. I like when everybody says hello. All right, so let's open up the comic. So first off, we have Intellivision, which was the rival to Atari at the time. I don't know. They had console wars even back then. You like Intellivision, I like Atari. I don't know. That I had Atari, but it's not like I loved or hated either one of them. They were basically the same thing, dots on a screen that you used your imagination because this is what Intellivision looked like. Coleco, and then there was ColecoVision, right? That was another one. So now we got the opening splash page. Let's bring this up a little bit. And this is 1983. 1983. So let's look at the credits. We got inspiration for Wars Ended, Wars Began. Batman and the Outsiders. Presenting a new group of heroes for our troubled age. We're in trouble, guys. We're in trouble, and we need outsiders. So, Mike W. Barr and Jim Aparo, writer, co-creators, artist, Adrian Roy, colorist, Len Wein, editor. So we got Halo, a really bizarre costume. I've grown to like it, but I don't know. If I was to have a Halo character, I just can't help but think it would have to be a white costume with just a circle, and then maybe like lines radiating from the circle, or not, or maybe, you know, make it glow. But like if Halo with the black suit, I've grown to like it, but that's not what I would have done. Geoforce. Now he's the connective tissue between the new Teen Titans and the Outsiders. When they were coming up with the team and pitching it, somebody said, "Hey, Geoforce is just like Terra over at the new Teen Titans." So Mike Barr and Marv Wolfman talked, and they decided to make the characters siblings. So Tara Markova and Brian Markova are brother and sister. They're mutants from like a royal inbred European line that has these geo powers, and they even have similar costumes. So that's why they cross over. Black Lightning. That's such a 70s costume. Katana and Metamorpho. Look at that costume. It just shouldn't work, but it does. Katana's costume, as far as I'm concerned, is a great superhero samurai mix. It really works. Really works. Right before I'll let me check the. So going forward, I'll look at the comic and then address the chat. Zach Tam, Batman is the Dark Knight and Gotham is his territory. It makes sense for Batman to have retainers, but being on a team only. Oh, that's a good way to look at it. That's a good eloquent way to describe it. So I'm of the opinion, you know, Batman is inspired by the Shadow, and I think that Batman should have operatives. He should never have teammates. There's a difference. Operatives are people that he uses to get a mission done. Just like in a later, they brought back the Batman and the Outsiders, I think volume 3. And they were like, why does Batman even have us on the team? And somebody said, we are all aspects of Batman. Like they had Owlman, I'm the detective. They had Geoforce, I'm the muscle. Katana, I'm the fighting skill. You know, these are all aspects of Batman. And then they looked at Metamorpho and they're like, well, what are you? And he goes, I'm the utility belt. So it was funny. But, you know, they were all admitting that they were like vassals, retainers to Batman. But I like the idea of Batman having operatives rather than Batman having teammates. You know, and I don't know if any of you guys watched my It's Clobbering Time when I said to me, I said there was 2 Batmans, but there's really 3 Batmans, maybe even 4 in my mind. There's the original Golden Age Batman, then there's the Silver Age starfaring weirdo Batman, you know, whimsical Batman. Then there's the Detective Batman, and then there's the Bat God. To me, those are the 4 Batman. My favorite is this Batman, the Detective Batman. And I could see, you know, I'm just dismissing the Golden Age Batman and the Silver Age Batman. But the Detective Batman, I could see joining the Justice League to have access to secrets and information. And the Bat God, I could see him joining the Justice League for much the same reason, but more so to, like, you know, pillage technology and things like that too. So again, I will turn the page. So I don't know. We got a bunch of people watching. Is this dated artwork? Is this like old fashioned? Is this old fogey? I mean, the coloring is. I mean, look at this coloring over here. You know, just the principal characters have full colors. Everybody else just has like a splash. You know, I keep picking on poor Kyle Ritter, but it seems to be like the modern way of coloring everything is distinct and stands out. Everything like it ain't happening. I'm looking around at this room right now. You know, I got lights all the way back there, but my overhead lights are shut off, and then I got a light just over here. Otherwise, if you look at my other videos, it's just too much light. But I'm looking at my room. It's like layered. There's darkness over here. Everything doesn't have a, you know, this is more realistic than you'd think. You know, and we got him talking to Lucius Kane over here, Bruce Wayne. And So he's saying, I got to take care of business. He's like, business, Bruce, blonde or brunette? Actually, a redhead. And then, so they're all goofing. Batman's a dilettante, a fet. He's just, not taking anything seriously. And then it cuts to the next panel. There's the redhead. He's taking care of Rooster McGee or something like that. Actually, that's not his name, but Rooster McGee is, you better believe that now that I said it, there's going to be a character in Heroic Tales named Rooster McGee. And he's just beating the crap out. Now, I love this drawing of Batman over here. It's just cool. It's super heroic, and it's scary. I don't know. I just love this. This is just awesome. Look at that. How can that not be? I love how one hand's grabbing the gun and pushing the gun away. The other hand's punching. It's just a really well composed image. What a master by Jim Aparo. Then we got Batman over here. I love this. Like, he's broad chest. He's holding this guy at bay. And then, just this weird angle. Just so good. So good. This bag of money over here. This almost looks like a stage play. Look at this. Like over here, we just got this purple wall. It's almost like a set piece, old-fashioned garbage cans. I'm just really digging. I'm really digging this. So much better than I remember. And then 2 days pass. Lord knows I got work. So he's gathering up the money, solving the crime. This is the Batman I like. He's taking out one guy, some drama, finding the money. What's going on? This guy's just a drug dealer, stopping drugs from entering, the slums. And then he right over here, he says, "No excuse. Somehow I've got to find a way to do more. I got to do more." And he's like, "Lucius is fleeing to Europe. Hope he has a good time. Lord knows he works hard." So Lucius is leaving. Batman is feeling overwhelmed. Lucius is going on an extended vacation. He's not leaving for good. And Batman is realizing he's got to take care of Wayne Enterprises. He's got to take care of Gotham. He's got to do it. And for the first time, the human detective Batman is starting to feel, oh no, there's a lot going on. I need help. Okay, so let's look at the credits. Oh wow, the credits. The comment. Like a lot of this blacklight, this black lightning looks. Yeah, there's a lot of like this. Is this a trick to save time? Is this a trick to save time? But it works. Minimal backgrounds. That's like I've been saying this for a while. But I always thought like comics were more theatrical than cinematic. Like it wasn't until the Ultimates where they started saying the cinematic comics. But I don't know. Like if you watch an opera or a play, they don't build every piece. They just give you a set piece and you let your imagination fill in the gaps. Like this, you got a bag and then you got Batman's shadow. That's all you need. You got a couple of generic buildings, a crudely drawn plane. Look at this. You just got a wall over here in two colors. These are set pieces like in a theater. It works for me. That's Metamorpho's body. He's just wearing trunks. Yep. Yeah. Metamorpho is. We'll get to Metamorpho. You got the seasonal syphilis. Once the leaves start falling, my nose starts. Yeah. Me too. Yeah. I try to avoid duplicate superpowers as much as possible in the genuine verse. I want to have each character be unique within the world. Exceptions are generic abilities like super strength. Good point. Good point. So far it's easy for me with only one character, but yeah, it's a good point. If I have two characters of like a similar motif, it's because like the names are just too cool to say no to. Like, like I don't have them, but like if I had a lion character and a tiger character, it's because the concept just came so strong to me. But I see where you're going. Black Lightning's mask has a fake afro. His hair is much shorter. Yeah, yep. I like the art, but I'm old. Me too. Jim Aparo is a great artist. Love his run on this book. Flat colors are best with Jim. Yeah, I think flat colors are best with this newsprint. I was thinking it's Alan Davis title. Have a pair of issues with it. Yeah, Alan Davis does Outsiders later on. Heading to church. See you later. See you later, Zach. I definitely think those colors are more eye-catching, especially to the Zytard kids. Yeah, okay. This is the version of Batman I was referencing. That's my favorite version. Yeah, me too. This is my Batman. This is the Batman I like. Right now, he's admitting he needs help. He's admitting to himself. These were all new characters to me as a kid. Loved the new characters. This book was right up my alley. Oh, Stippling. How you doing, Stippling? Well, Vaughn. I guess I could call you Vaughn since that's your name. Years ago, it was Morrison's, then Adam West, but the last few years has been this one. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So your favorite version was the Bat God. That's the Morrison and current Batman. Adam West was the whimsical Batman. But this is my Bat. This is the Batman I like the most. Aparo is at the height of his powers. It could possibly be the best Batman. I know people are going to argue. He's my favorite. Does that mean the best? I don't know. I'll still say Neil Adams. It's probably the best Batman. I don't know. I'm sure Marcus could bring up all the Batman artists that I'm forgetting. And here that the origin of Blue Batman was the light in the black suit painted blue with the different artists. Yes, that was, Oscar probably knows better than me, being that he colors. But Batman isn't supposed to be blue. It's one of those little comic book things that we just accept. Like the Beast was supposed to be black originally, but the black didn't look well. It with the primitive printing at the time and the paper and the ink. If you look at the Astonishing Tales 15 with the Beast, he just looked like you couldn't see his details. It was hard to make him look like he just looked like a silhouette. So they started putting blue tinges to so that he could have features. Same with the Black Panther. On the cover, Black Panther looked pretty good, but in interiors they put like purple and blue. Same reason why Superman has the blue hair, because of the limitations. So this is supposed to be Batman is like gray and dark, but the blue is just so that they can, put the features in. So, I don't know. And then it became the way he looks. So now this is Batman just running ragged. Batman is just running ragged. He's just, this is what we call a montage in the 80s. The 80s was resplendent with montages. There was also resplendent with like out of date hairstyles on thugs. I just love how like you could have all of these thugs and high technology and stuff like that, but then the regular old criminals, they all look like 40s and 50s gangsters. So Batman's coming home, and Lucius Kane is missing in Markova. What's going on? Batman's like, I gotta get him. He's my boy. That's Lucius. It's Luscious Lucius. You gotta go get him. He's caught up in a revolution in a fake, a realistic but fake sounding country, Markova in Europe, and we got to go get him. So thus therein lies the plot. Oh, I already saw this. Oh, I already said that. This is my Batman right here. I love this costume. Yep. If someone says Jim Lee's the best Batman, we're gonna fight. I like Jim Lee with the short ears. Who's the one I really like? Who's the one I really? I'm forgetting his name now, but he does a short ears, and almost like he draws the line, almost like an Adam West cowl. I think he was the artist on Court of Owls. I really like that Batman. He just looks like a tough MFer. I just don't like the attitude behind Batman where he's like, Marshall Rogers does a great Batman. Yeah, I forgot about Marshall Rogers. Not Kelly Jones. I actively dislike Kelly Jones Batman. It's ridiculous. I love Kelly Jones. I love when he does Dead Man, but I actively dislike his Batman. It's just, I don't know. It's just too much. The Neil Adams Batman was drawn by Aparo, Irv Novak, and Dick Gianni in the 70s. Others tried but didn't get it. Greg Capullo, there he is. That's his name, Greg Capullo. I really like his Batman. I just wish today, I wish we could get a Greg Capullo Batman, but with like a Jim Aparo, a Mike Barr kind of way, if we could get like a Greg Capullo detective Batman back, oh my God, that would be so good. That would be so good. Like, I don't want, like, this bothers me. This Dick Sprang does a good Batman too. That's old fashioned, but I like it. But this to me, like, this isn't Batman. Like, he hits the button, he gets teleported up to a satellite on the moon, and he's talking to everybody in the Justice League. Like, Batman shouldn't get teleported to the moon. It's just too much. Graham Nolan drew a great Batman. Yes, absolutely, he did. I don't know. I just don't like. He's supposed to be an urban legend, hunter of the night, guy who stops muggings, and then he pushes a button and gets teleported to the moon. So now, so Batman, I love this. Batman just comes in and says, I hope you're not too comfortable. We're going to Markova. He's like, Batman, we have to talk. We have to wait. And he's like, Fred is missing. Batman, we can't do that. So Superman and Batman are having Wonder Woman and Superman are teaming up against Batman. They're having a political discussion. What's going on? There's a civil war in Markova. We can't get involved. Which is, it brings up a bigger point. Like, do superheroes get involved in politics? Well, politics, people are getting killed in a civil war, and superheroes are there to protect lives. So this is what Batman, this is a real philosophical concern. Do we get involved? Like, terrorism is politics. Do you get involved? Like if Black Lives Matter shows up in Minnesota and starts burning down the city for a year, does Batman just like, it's politics? Superman, it's politics. Like, do you stop? In the Chaz in Washington, in Seattle, Washington, when people were getting raped and murdered, it's politics. So I see Batman's point. We got to do something. This is real violence. People are really getting hurt. And I see Superman's point. Now, what do? Superman is a god. I always say that Superman is an angelic being, but we don't see angels intervening. Gandalf from the Lord of the Rings was basically an angel, and he was there to inspire and help. So, this is all heady stuff. I love this kind of discussion in comic books. So what do? So Batman's pissed. Batman agrees with them, but Batman's human. This is human Batman. His emotions are taking control because his buddy Lucius is caught up and held hostage. Like, if you know what I mean. If you're Batman and your niece was captured on October 7th, in Israel, you're like, well, I guess time to get the laser suit going, and Captain Energy is going to go and fight Hamas. That's my niece. You know what I mean? And that's how Batman feels. So he quits the Justice League. Because then, effective immediately, I resign. You don't mean that, don't I? So he resigns. And now we got the obligatory origin of Batman. You notice this? This is pretty clever right over here. They don't even show the person. They just show it's a nameless person. It's just a gun. It's just crime. It's just crime killed his parents. Here he is, just a little kid vowing dramatically before the grave, and I'll become a bat. We got this weird old sky, and then my time. If I fail to protect Lucius Kane, then I don't deserve to be Batman. So I love this. They just stand here and let him lecture for a while. We always served an example. I've never asked for that, Batman. I never wanted to meant to imitate me, only fear me. So he's, he's pissed. Batman's pissed. I only want to do my work. Nothing's more important than you. And to stop me, you'll have to kill me. And then he teleports from Justice League. And now what is he doing? We got these now. My 3D assets. I don't think this is 3D assets. I just think this is Jim Aparo looking at schematics and copying them. What did Wally Wood say? Don't draw what you could. Don't draw what you could trace. Don't trace what you can copy and paste or something like that. I'm sure Marcus knows the quote better than me. Here's where Markovia is. It's in between France and Liechtenstein and Germany. Markoverberg. And there we go. Unscramble the fun. Bubble Yum. Oh, before I turn the page, let's look at the credits. I really like Frank Quitely as an artist, but not his Batman. I like his Superman. I can't picture his Batman, which probably is a roundabout way of saying I don't like it if I can't even imagine what his Batman looked like. But I like this Superman. But something about Frank Quitely, everybody looks like a little bloated, like that retaining water. 70s, 80s Batman has such great artists. Adams, Davis, Byrne, Aparo, Brett Foyle. Yeah, I got to agree. The Flash, Barry Allen, to me, is not my favorite Flash. Who's your favorite Flash then? Wally Wood? Wally West? Yeah, some people don't realize that, but Wally Wood, when he was done drawing for the day, would don a Flash costume and run around. So now we're in this weird semi, whatever, like Prussian, Victorian, whatever era of Europe. And the king is dying. Not even the Nazis could kill King Victor, but this unknown oppressor, yes, you're the king now, but use your power wisely. All of your lives, you and your brother Brian fought and blah, blah. Don't forget your sister Tara. Tell her I've always loved her. That was like an afterthought when they decided to team up with the Titans, and the father dies. He gives a big long speech and dies the way people die in movies. They give this Shakespearean monologue, and then as soon as it's over, they expire, nobly in bed. Not until my coronation, Brian. We have to do much if our country is to survive. And then they got Dr. Jace. Dr. Jace is this sexy but stern and cold scientist with no emotions. She might as well be a Vulcan. That she doesn't even have eyes. She's got that little orphan Annie look to her. And what is she going to do? She's going to use a scientific process to bring out these latent powers that exist in the royal family's bloodline. And, this like Dr. Doom-esque lifestyle. We got this guy out here. Have you seen this woman? Have you seen this woman? An automobile. I just love, Marvel does it with Latvia, but you could understand that because it's like you almost pass like an iron curtain. Like Doom rules that country with an iron fist. You know what I mean? So he controls everything, kind of like North Korea. This is supposed to be like a free country that happens to have a king who's not just like a figurehead like in all of Europe these days. The kings don't really rule. This country, you kind of get the feeling that the kings actually rule. So why wouldn't they have cars? You know what I mean? But I love this. So these people are looking for Dr. Jace. Dr. Jace, where's Dr. Jace? So we got this handsome explorer. We got this black guy with bars of gold. What's going on? What's going on? And they're all reporting to Batman. They're all reporting to. So Batman is now using operatives, and of course we all know the black guy. That's Black Lightning. That handsome explorer, that Indiana Jones. That's Rex Mason, who is Metamorpho. That's Metamorpho's secret origin name. That's his identity. He's Rex Mason, explorer. He's not quite an archaeologist. He's more of an explorer. And he found the orb of Ra, and when he touched it, he got transformed into the Element Man. So now these operatives are, and now who's this? Somebody's going around killing. So this is a fly in the ointment. Nobody expected the Japanese Katana. So she's just showing up because she just wants revenge for who killed her husband. So she's not a part of the equation over here. So here we got, an oopsie-daisy kind of thing. Oh, I forgot about the chat. I got so into this. Thanks, Oscar, for remembering just how good Byrne's Batman. Yeah, I love Byrne's Batman. Oh man, I really love that issue with in the Superman run where he drew Batman. It was so good. I'm so glad they killed off Dr. Jason as a Manhunter in the Legends event. I forgot about that. Yeah, she was a man. That Manhunter event was so bad. And I think we could all agree that as far as company-wide crossovers, Secret Wars did it the best. Secret Wars 1 had the minimal intrusion in. They just saw this little ring-a-ding-ding, and then they went there, and then the next issue we would deal with the repercussions. And they let the writers, come up with the repercussions. It was fine. And it worked because it was the first time and it was cool. Crisis on Infinite Earth. But after that, what other company-wide crossovers were worth the intrusion into story? Millennium? Atlantis Attacks at least was in the annuals. The Evolutionary War was at least in the annuals. But I forgot about that Manhunters. That was just terrible. I forgot about that. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, they retroactively said that certain characters were like Manhunter operatives, just waiting. And Dr. Jace was one of them. It was just so stupid. Laurel Kent in the Legion of Superheroes. It's just so bad. I guess I blocked that memory from my mind. Thank you, Vaughn, for ruining my day. Let's not forget Jose Luis Garcia Lopez Batman. Yes. Batman was always my favorite. I'm Batman. Metamorpho was always my favorite outside. Me too. To the point you don't have the outsiders if you don't have Halo. To me, the three most important are Halo, Katana, and Metamorpho. Those are like Geoforce is okay. I would love to get a world globe of all fictitious countries and yeah, that's funny. I think online they make like maps. Jose is good, even better than Adams. I lied. Invasion is that? Yeah, that's what it was called. It was Invasion, not Manhunter. It was terrible. Blackest Night. Yeah, Blackest Night. And Final Night. Is that the one? I love the Manhunter. The Hitman. The final night, Blackest Night, whatever it was. No, the final night was when the sun went out, and then they had to deal with it in every comic. And then Hitman, they just stayed in the bar and told stories. Garth Ennis just worked. And people like, these things happen every year, and there's never any repercussions. The superheroes had it was just pretty funny. So now Black Lightning, he gets distracted by Katana because she's not part of the team. He's like, what's going on? And he gets the gun butt to the head that instantly knocks you unconscious. And not only does it instantly knock you unconscious, it like cleanly, you're knocked out, you wake up, you're fine. You don't have a lasting year-long concussion, which is what the doctors think might be the accounting for my dizziness. Is they say a concussion could last months. We'll find out tomorrow when I go to the neurologist. So Batman's like, well, what are you talking about? There's a girl going on. And then they find this other girl. Who are you? She has no memory. She shoots some laser beams at Batman. So we got gum in the works over here. Like Katana and Halo are not accounted for. Batman recruited Black Lightning and Metamorpho. Halo and Katana are chaos elements. Like they just unaccounted for. You know, this isn't the Bat God. This is Detective Batman over here. He makes mistakes. It's not that Batman didn't make a mistake. You're not just going to make a plan of like, well, if we happen to find an amnesiac, superpowered teenage girl and a vengeance-crazed Japanese woman, we'll go to contingency 562. You know, that's just beyond the purview of mortal thinking. So yeah, so Batman is now like, that's the difference between strategy and tactics. Strategy is your long-term plans. Tactics is when your boots hit the ground. How do you deal with all the variables? And I'm good with tactics. I'm terrible with long-term strategy. Like when I play board games, like I thrive when I got to deal with the board situation changes at every moment. That's what I do really good. But a game of chess, you're going to beat me. I'm just too impatient. So she's displaying the powers. And you know, there's a Civil War mark over it. This town is like bomb cratered. It's like World War One. You know, these fictitious countries in Marvel and DC, once you cross the borders, it's like a time portal. You know, they wear old-fashioned lederhosen and stuff. So now she's all like, "Don't hurt me." She's freaking out. Something bad happened to her in her past, and Batman is like, I gotta help her. I gotta help her. You know, it's this teenage amnesiac girl with superpowers who's freaking out. I gotta help her. Garcia Lopez could be the greatest, but never give him a great saga. Just a guy. Yeah, I agree. That he was like John Romita Sr. He was these were the house style, you know, guys from Garcia from DC and Romita from Marvel. But yeah, they kind of gave them as like overlord status, you know, looking at all the books as a whole and guiding the books as a whole. But yeah, what were their great stories? Wow, no neck brace. Yeah, you haven't been here in a while. My neck brace has been off for about a month. Yeah, I was just looking at your comics last night. I was putting them in my comic box. Project Noasis. There we go. Marcus is right on the ball. Check out Project Oasis. This is the ultimate hustler in comics. I saw you met Todd McFarlane. That is so cool. So cool. That's your guy. That's your boy. So here we got these Warlord. So not only do we have Warlord comics, but we had Warlord action figures. Hercules, Arak, Warlord. These Mike Grell comics. These comics are good. Warlord comics are really good. I recommend them. I didn't get them at the time because I wasn't into sword and sorcery. I'm actually in the process of reading Warlord now. I have memories of reading Warlord, but they're not true. I'm getting Mandela affected. You know, I'm only up to like issue 3 of Warlord, but I'm like, yeah, I read those. I bought a whole run years ago, but I haven't read them. So I guess looking through the covers made me think that I actually read them. And then there was like a 12-issue reboot. I read that as it came out. So now we got Dr. Jace, the stereotypical emotionless android human. You know, well, turns out later on we find out that she is an android, but at this point she's just, you know, a cold scientist, and she's experimenting on Brian to give him unlock the powers that are part of his family heritage. So there's this mutant line that goes through this family, and he's gonna unlock the powers. Look at that beaker, and she doesn't care about the cost, the pain, or whatever, because she's a cold scientist. Does the no neck brace? Yeah, the beard is coming back. The beard is growing back. Been busy. I'm coming on the end of next month for a new book. We'll talk about it at New York Comic. I'm busy. I'm coming on end of next month for a new book. Okay, so not your book. I remember you kind of hinted that somebody else hired you to make their book. So that's cool. That's awesome. Busy guy. Doc, this feels wonderful. Stay where you are. You know. So now he's firing. Increased gravity renders your bullet. So what does Geoforce do? There you go. He's like a Superman level power guy. He's connected to the Earth, so he has all Geo, meaning Earth. He has all Earth power. So he has gravity. He can control stone and everything like that, and he could pull mass from the earth and get super strength. And he's one of the most powerful DC superheroes. But I like this. He's learning his powers. So obviously gravity. He can manipulate earth and stone like Magneto could with metal. And he could pull lava blasts out of the ground. And then he could pull mass and become like super invulnerable and super strong. He's really, really powerful. But he's a rookie right now. And using the power weakens him. You know, he's first level. If you want to explain that. So now he's firing lava bolts, melting their guns. He's getting shot, but it's hurting him, and psychologically you're not prepared to get shot, you know what I mean? So, but he's not knocked out or anything yet. He's just like, oh, you know, he's doesn't understand the extent of his powers. And now we got Metamorpho. He's pulling off this latex mask. You know, I used to call nonsense on all these superheroes just having a mask on. Now you see what the masks are like, you know. So it's not nonsense anymore. So he pulls off his mask and he's now Metamorpho. What can Metamorpho do? What can Metamorpho not do? He stretches. He's basically unkillable. You know, he doesn't have any internal organs. He's made up of all the elements. He's wood, he's metal, he's liquid, he's solid, he's gaseous. You know, he's just a constant flux of a being. He's more than Stretch. So he's more than Reed Richards. He's Plastic Man he's more than Plastic Man, because plastic is just plastic. He's everything. He is another one, ultimate powerful. You know, the only thing that is limiting him is his intelligence. You know, so we got two major powers on the Outsiders. Geoforce being one of them, Metamorpho being a second one. I mean, these guys are, either one of them are, I'm not even joking, like top upper echelon of superhero powers. And I'll finish this and then I'll adjust the chat. So Metamorpho is, you know, what are they doing here? They're freeing Lucius Kane. You know, look at this. This guy actually gets lasered and he's taken apart. That doesn't kill Metamorpho. You know, these what do you call them? Rebels, upstarts, whatever. So they shot Geoforce and buried him in the ground. And the fist is coming out. So let's address the chat. November 22nd, Project Noah's. Oh, cool. Nice. Looking forward to it. I might as well give a commercial to Project Analysis, to Paul over here. If you like 90s comics, 90s Image comics, like, you know, that over the top, super, you know, extreme look, but with an actual story and a plot, this is your comic. I've been not unduly. Yeah, I think I've been very harsh on Image comics lately. But Paul's doing it right. So just imagine you actually get some good, exciting Image art, explosions, extreme, whatever. But there's a story and storytelling. There you go. After that, we go live. Sure. Come on down. You know, the only thing is I'm probably going back to work, and one of my buddies is he's got a new job, so I'm switching my game night. So I got to figure out what my new schedule is going to be, because I could be going to another job. There could be a lot of overtime, which I'm going to take, because I lost a lot of money in the past 3 months not working. So I might be toning down my YouTube presence. You know, so I might be doing a lot more pre-recorded videos and things like that. Hey, good morning, Jolly. Talks with the Long Box. Sure, yeah. I still plan on doing like 1 or 2 conversations a week. Love Metamorpho. I've been painting him in the Terrific series from DC. Yeah, I gotta check out that Terrific series. You know, so anyway, they established that if Brian is shot and near death, and even at one point that I know of, dead, and you bury him, the earth, his connection to the earth will bring him back. So if you want to kill Geoforce, you got to shoot him, kill him, and fling him into space. That'll kill him. but if you bury him in the earth will bring him back. So now Batman and Halo are exploring the woods. Batman's looking through the woods, and they're finding these rebellion soldiers who are. I just love how they're conveniently dressed with like a nice yellow, reflective stripe, so you can see them in the dark. Make it easy for Batman. Batman works hard. Make it easy. Identify yourself when you're a bad guy. So now she's exploring, like Batman's basically like, oh, okay, could you change your light colors? So what does Halo do? Halo has light powers, but more than that, with each color of the rainbow, she has different effects. It's kind of cool. So I think blue is like paralysis, and red is like heat and whatever. So she could fly and she could project light, and each light has like a different superpower. It's kind of like Captain Planet rolled into one character. And now we got this nice ad. I love that. Batman and the Outsiders, Two-Fisted first issue. So why are they the Outsiders? I'll explain that at the end. Now we got the Meanwhile, which was the Dick Giordano's version of Stan's soapbox. So this is, this is DC giving you the in-house news. You better believe I did not read that stuff as a kid, but now I read it as an adult. It's just nice. I hate this word community, but this kind of fostered a community. You knew about the creators, you knew about, events and everything. It made you feel like, oh wow, we're all, in it together, kind of thing. Now they hate us and spit on us and have no sense of community in comics, or at least they don't want me in their community. So Batman is, again, Batman's a detective. He's hyper focused on something, and he doesn't notice this guy sneaking up on him. So Halo takes him out, and then Batman's like, "What's going on?" Batman's just, I love this. He's struggling with two guys. So Batman, we got 1, 2, 3 soldiers. Batman's fighting 3 soldiers, and he gets defeated. He gets defeated by 3 soldiers. Halo freaked out because she's still like, I like the next issue. Batman's like, "How old are you?" And she's like, I don't know. And Black Lightning goes, "I'd say she's 16." And Metamorpho goes, "I think she's 18." So Batman goes, "You're 17." You know what I mean? Like, we'll split the difference. You're 17. Let's go. Because she doesn't even know how old she is. But look at this. Batman gets taken out, carried away. And he comes to. I just love this trope. I love this trope. Let's throw all of our prisoners in one cell, and he's Batman. Oh, they did take the utility belt. But leave the mask on, throw him in a cell. We got this. Take all the pieces of this freak, and throw them all in the cell. And we got Baron Bedlam, the first of the terrible named villains that is kind of charming for the Outsiders. So we got Baron Bedlam. Baron Bedlam is that's his real name, Baron Bedlam. From the Bedlam family of Markovia. They're just born to cause trouble with the name Bedlam, and he's just instigating a civil war because Victor the king was ill, and they knew he was going to die. And then you got 2 sons vying for the throne, and Bedlam is going to come in and cause Bedlam, hence the name. And that's the first issue. So we got Lucius Kane, we got Batman, we got Black Lightning, we got Metamorpho, all in the same jail cell. And now we got an editorial written by, I think it's Mike Barr, explaining why this comic even exists. So why are they the Outsiders? Because it's the same as X-Force. They're going to do the dirty, sneaky stuff, getting involved in politics and civil wars and going to other countries that the Justice League can't do because the Justice League are too big. The X-Men and the Avengers and the Fantastic Four are not going to go underground stealthily into, Hamas and rescue the hostages. I don't know why they should, but X-Force will, and the Outsiders will. So, I don't want to say wet works because that implies they're willing to kill, but they'll do that kind of stuff. So they'll do politically charged missions. So what am I reading today? This I'm going to read as soon as the camera's off. I'm going to read Creepy number 11. I'm going to read some Chuck Dixon detectives that I somehow missed. And then I got a bunch of boxes all over on the floor over here. They've been sitting here for months. So I'm going to open up these boxes and sort comics. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to read comics for a little bit, and then I'm going to sort comics for the rest of the day. And then go to Tim Horton to get another can of coffee. My first exposure to Metamorpho was an old Power Record story album. As a kid, he scared me because his power. Yeah, he's like kind of like a monstrous hero. But I have a soft spot for that. Well, I call that the Pinocchios. You know, the characters that lost their humanity, and because of that, they understand the value of humanity, and by paradox become more humane. Guys like Ben Grimm, Metamorpho. Hellboy never lost his humanity, but I put Hellboy in that category. You know, he just wants to be a real boy kind of thing. Atomic Robo, a lesser known comic that I absolutely love. He was created as a robot, and he's more human because, you know, he's a Pinocchio. I love that trope. I love that trope. I have a Pinocchio in my heroic tales that I'll be introducing later on. But I love that trope. You know, Ben Grimm being the ultimate Pinocchio. I hate the words badass. Did so? Was it said in the comic? Oh, was I talking about a Image? Warner Brothers adapted the story, but with Nightwing and Young Justice, Halo made her change his powers. Yes, her change his powers. Yeah. I think her power. If she was scared, she had red or something like that. Yeah, she was like the first thing. Oh wow! It just made me think that what if Halo was somehow a unifying force behind all the lantern rings. Pretty good. And Randy, how you doing, Randy? How's everything? So there you go. This is Batman and the Outsiders. Oscar requested this. So anybody have any ideas for next week's? If you have any ideas, put them in the comments for next week's Sunday Comics. As always, I keep talking until it's until the chat dies down. I know I'm going to be doing a what you're reading because I got a stack of comics over here that I can't put them away until I do the video. And today I'd like to sort comics, so I'll probably do a what you're reading later on, probably live. And then I just got this box of from Discount Comic Service. That's my monthly comic, so I'll probably do a monthly visitor comic video either today or tomorrow. I probably won't do another Batman and Outsiders for a while. I kind of like to jump around, you know, but I'm not saying I won't do it. Like the only exception was I was going to do all 6 Star Wars, but I can't find Star Wars number 4. I know I have it. It's got to be in the wrong spot. So you know, if I find Star Wars number 4, that gets priority. Blue Devil number 1. That's a good one. Blue Devil. Blue Devil is another, like, right around the Crisis, they started launching a bunch of new. No, Blue Devil predated the Crisis, but once a Crisis on Infinite, this is why I got my brain mixed up. Because once Crisis on Infinite Earths launched, I got really into DC. I got so excited, and I went and I started buying, you know, at the comic book store, buying the back issues. So I got Blue Devil from 1 up, Firestorm from 1 up, Blue Beetle from 1 up. But they were out before Crisis on Infinite Earths. But in my mind, they came out with Crisis because that's when I got interested in them. That's when I found out about the characters. That's when I went and bought the back issues. Do I have Spider-Man 14? Amazing Spider-Man 14? No, I do not. The earliest Spider-Man I have is 24. And every once in a while, if I find a good price, I'll buy. Like, I can't buy 14. I got to buy 23 next. I'm working my way backwards with Spider-Man. I know I'm weird, but it keeps me from just buying all the comics. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. The next Amazing Spider-Man comic I buy is 23 because whatever, because I'm crazy. This was your first superhero comic? Oh, Spider-Man 14 was your first Spider-Man superhero comic. I don't have it. You know, I don't have. I'm going to try to get some time this afternoon. Kid Carter for. Yeah, I didn't get mine yet. Hope it shows up soon. Get this funded, heroic. Yes. It's gonna happen. It's a flexible goal, so whatever. But like, I would like to get it to hell. I'd like to get it to $600 million. But you know what I mean. So, yes. I'm gonna share this. At the stage. So, Heroic Tales. This is on Indiegogo. I'm at 11 backers, 350. 70% of flexible goal means the campaign will receive all funds raised, even if it does not reach. So, yeah. So I thought it wasn't gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. But as of right now, it's the only place to get this Mike Gustovich cover. And how many Gustovich covers sold? Only 2. Yes, I printed more than 2, but only 2 sold. Oh wow, that's really sad. Only 2 Gustovich covers sold, and Bancroft said it was his favorite. So I wonder if Bancroft is one of the 2 that bought it. But there you go. So that means all the money I spent on that cover, and I made $20. Oh, so there you go. Do I have the wedding of Reed and Sue? That's Fantastic Four 100. Yes, I'm only missing a few Fantastic Four comics. I'm missing 2 and 3. I think I'm missing 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think are the only ones I'm missing. I forget, but I'm missing a few of the Fantastic Four. I know I have every issue from 10 up. The only ones I'm missing are the single digit numbers. So yeah, that's 100. The printed Heroic Tales comics looks amazing. Yeah, I might as well show it. It's right here. So these are not the actual comics, like right over here. This is the proof copy. As you can see, there's a little bit of error. You can see this. The art doesn't go all the way up. That drives me crazy. And it just and then the dialogue is missing on this page. I missed it in the digital version because I just find I just can't pay attention to, you know what I mean? I need to, so this, to get a proof, I forget what is this, $40? I forget if it's $20 or $40 to get a proof made. And I got 5, so I spent $200 just getting proofs. But thank God I did. I would be like, this comic is amateur, But just look at that page. Look at that. It's just so good. It's just so good. Look at that. It's just so good. And then we got Ron's page. I want to show this page. Look at this dope 2-page spread over here. That is so good. The suit, there's the title. Here's the credits. I just told him, let's make a double-page spread, and we'll put the credits in there, like on billboards, like Will Eisner used to do. And Ron's like, you got it. You got it. So Ron actually did this lettering. I think maybe Bill did the lettering. I forget. But look at that. That is just so good. So good. Oscar, you're in there. You're in there, Oscar. You got some ads. It's so good. It's so good, guys. I'm really last night somebody, I think it was Crenshaw, asked if he could do a review of a video review of because he got the digital copy. And I said, if you're asking me, I gotta ask, is it positive? And he's like, oh yeah. I said, yeah, do it. Just don't spoil the book, because don't spoil the book. But if he does a positive review and it gets out there, it's good word of mouth. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping for a groundswell of people who actually get the book. It's good. It's a good book, guys. It's really good. I'd sit here and do a Sunday comics of it. I mean, look at this back cover. You know, these stickers are you know, look at that. So this is the proof, and then this is the order number. So when I have any problems, I use this reference number right there, 28883. That's this particular cover. Then you know, here's the Renzo cover. You know, this is 28876. You know what I mean? So that's how I reference everything. And again, you can see this line up here, this line over here. It's just not ready. I want it to go full bleed. Just so cool. Again, you know, it's got the interiors are fine. Once I fix that, you know, once I fix this page, you know, the dialogue, which I fixed. It's so good, so good. So it's a good book, guys. 2 complete stories. You know, I'm really hoping the word of mouth drives sales. Don't buy the copy of FF number 2 that CBS licked. Why would he do that? I meant annual 3 and reprinted in FF annual. Oh, annual 3? Oh, yeah. Why did I see 100? Which one was? No, 100 was an anniversary. Yeah, annual 3 was the wedding. Yeah, I got that. Great paper. Got the color right. Yes, it looks great. It looks good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Torchbearer read it. He got the digital. Got a little surprise for you in the last pages of Rome Eternal. Oh, really? Oh, now I'm excited. Wait for the printed version. Okay. Maybe. Is it in this box? Did it come out yet? It didn't come out yet, right? It's really, oh, Marcus read it. So I'm hoping for you know, word of mouth to drive sales. Once it is complete, like the fulfillment is complete, I you know, I don't know, maybe I'll do a second chance with like a bundle deal for all the covers. I don't know. Like I said, I'm good with tactics, bad with strategy. So I you know, when the time comes to think of something, I'll think of something. But I just can't help but be disappointed that the Gustovich cover didn't do too well. But that's my own fault for putting it months later. You know, the campaign started in July, and you know, now that the Gustovich cover is for sale, everybody who's excited about it already bought it. That was a tactical error on my part. I should have put all 4 covers on Fund My Comic, all 5 covers on Fund My Comic. You know, offered a bundle deal, and everybody who spent $20 on a comic would have spent $40 on the comic, and I would have doubled my sales, which is what, you know, because what I'm doing is using the money of issue 1 to fund issue 2 going forward. So, you know, so I have less money for issue 2 than I do for issue 1. Well, issue 1, I paid out of pocket. You guys understand what I'm saying. All right. So I'm going to stop here. Oh, Rome Eternals next week at the comic stores. So I'll actually get to the comic. I'll actually get to the comic stores to pick up. I ordered it on Discount Comic Book Service, but that means I'll get it late. So these comics these new comics, everybody else already got, because what they do is they every week they just build it up, and then when all 4 weeks go by, then they mail it to me. You know what I mean? So some of these comics other people have read already for almost 4 weeks. So I don't mind waiting. All right, but 35 to 50% off. I would do a second chance before issue 2. That's what I'm thinking. Do Fund My Comic permit secret tiers? If so, you could offer the variant to Fund My. Good idea. Yeah. I'm done with Indiegogo. This is it. You know, 11 backers. You know, yeah, 11 backers. I'm done. You know, and it's most difficult to work with out of the 3, to be honest. Fund My Comic has been real easy. Kickstarter is annoying with that survey, And Fund My Comic is just the most difficult. So I'm done with Indiegogo. Going forward, I'm gonna do Fund My Comic. And given that Brian Bow did $10,000 on Wolf and Batsy on Kicks, I might do, a Kickstarter after Fund My Comic. So I'll do issue 2, Fund My Comic, but everything is there. I'm not going to split up anything. That was a mistake. I'm going to do everything right there. I'm going to offer stuff. Like I got this coin. I got these right here, and I got these as a replacement for this coin because it took so long. So I got like 20 of these sitting in a box. I think I got 13 left. This is mine. I'm keeping this. You can't have this one, but you can have the other ones, the other 13. But the 13 of these cost as much as 300 of these. So, and then I'll put them on the backup. I'll put them on the catch-up tier or second chance campaign or whatever. Put a hot chick on. Oh, okay. All right. You want to see a hot chick? Like, okay. Let's do this. Let's give a little spoiler-rooney. What's going on here? Okay, let's give a little spoiler-rooney. And then we'll end on a spoiler-rooney. Hey, Emily, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, Student OG, how's everything? How's everybody? You're showing up in time for a spoiler. Okay. So here is this is the inked, penciled, undressed Josh Howard variant for Mary Sue cover. So he's coloring, he sent it to me. I approved it. He's now going to color it. And then I'll put the Heroic Tales logo on everything. And that'll be the Josh Howard variant so, like I said, my comic's going to be a flip book. So this is going to be the Patriarch. And then you flip it over. It'll be Mary Sue. So, one side's going to have this cover right here. And then you flip it over, it's going to have the Jose Garcia cover for the Patriarch. And then the other one is going to have the Renzo cover for Mary Sue. And then you flip it over, the Renzo cover for Patriarch. Renzo didn't do the Patriarch cover yet. So there you go. You guys got a spoiler. Oh no, a Coke can. Did you read that fist fight over Spawn? Yeah, I read about that. Well, I heard about it. I saw the titles. I didn't read about it. But, I guess it's good that people are excited. Fist fight. I don't know. I was about to say I wouldn't fist fight, but then I'm a hothead. I'd probably fist fight about anything. It's not the platform. It's the marketing and the fan base. Absolutely. Nice. Josh is coloring it. Josh is coloring it himself. He just said, was it okay? Do I need to change anything? And then I said, go ahead, color it. So he's going to color it himself. There's a Bleeding Cool article about it. Yeah. A tongue tentacle mark. It'll sell on Kickstarter. Who won the fist fight? Yeah, was the comic book damage. I said nice about the cover. Yeah, I knew that. So yeah. I don't know. Zach says that the SJW days are over. Why? Are they? I don't know. There's one good convention mean it's over. I don't know. I don't know. So there you go. So, Emily, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, Student OG, how's everything? How's everybody? I'm done with Indiegogo. Going forward, I'm only gonna do Fund My Comic. I think that's all I have to talk about. We're almost an hour and a half. I'll probably do another video later on today of a what you're reading. You know, I'll go through this stack of comics so I can put them away. I'll probably tomorrow do my monthly visitor live. You know, and when I do those are open invites. If anybody wants to pop in, you know, talk about my new monthly comics. And there we go. Anything? Anybody else want to say? Anybody else want to? Oh, Oscar. Did you see Renzo has in the folder? Renzo has Mary Sue pages for you to color. I think up to 8. So you know you could color those. So you could check them out. So there's some work for you, Oscar. SJWs. Did you get Absolute Batman #1? No, I did not. I'm not interested in it. I don't care. I want. It's harder and harder for me to get interested in DC when they keep changing the continuity, keep rebooting the continuity. You get invested, and then they dash your dreams. I'm a fan of the continuity of comics. Like I like that's why Marvel kind of didn't really reboot, but it kind of did, but it didn't, you know. So I like the whole, where does this piece, like every comic book, every character is like a little puzzle piece, and I'm a fan of the big gestalt of all the puzzle pieces, all the Legos put together. So I like this big puzzle piece over here, and then this Absolute Batman, which is a little puzzle piece. I don't care about that. I'm on this puzzle. Make this puzzle as good as you can be. That, and then over here you got a whole nother. I don't know. It's just I'm just not interested. SJWs will go, Luke. Yeah. The reason why they got powerful is because we got complacent. We get complacent again. It's going to happen again. You know. I don't know. Oh, good, Oscar. I didn't know if you knew. I little how the sausage is made, ladies and gentlemen. I leave Oscar alone. I leave Renzo alone. I leave Ron alone. I leave Bill alone. I leave Daniel alone. I just reach out on Fridays. I don't want to be a pest. So Fridays I just send out a little email. Hey, how's everything going? Did you got everything? You know, unless there's a time crunch, like you know. There was a time crunch a couple of weeks ago. Then I was frantic madman. But when there's no time crunch, every Friday, how you doing? I don't want to bust anybody's balls. I don't like anybody busting my balls. I don't want to bust anybody's balls. So just Friday, I reach out. Hey, Renzo, how's it going? Hi, Oscar, how's it going? Hi, Ron, how's it going? How Bill, how's it going? You know, hi, Daniel, how's it going? Things like that. So I forgot to do it on Friday because I just lost track of time. Yes, Rob Hunter's Death Raider is closing on Monday. Good comic, man. The art is phenomenal. And here's the links to that. Check that out. So, all right, I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling, but it's time to eat those Glen Wayne donuts. It's time to fill up a cup of coffee. Usually these videos, when I'm out of coffee, it's time to shut it down. So I'm taking my last sip from this cup. Oh, SOG. If you want to talk drama, you know what's really pissing me off is why can't I think of his name now? Rich Johnson saying that Private American is about killing immigrants. Oh my God. What a way to misrepresent the comic. It as if we didn't think he was a corrupt, lousy journalist beforehand. That is just the worst. That is just, what a way to misrepresent everything. That is willful misrepresent. That's not even a mistake. But there you go. Oh, as you can see, I paid $6 for this, unless it's a different bag. But there you go. Hate to shut down when we got so many people watching, but there's nothing else to talk about. And that's Sunday Comics for you. So I'll see you. I'll probably see you later on today with a what you're reading video, and that is an open invite if anybody wants to come in and talk about comics. I was thinking of maybe doing it on because this might be my last week. Odds are this is my last week off. You know, not a week from Monday, I'll be back at work. So might as well take advantage of it. I'm setting up a big game over there. I'll probably do a My Hand solo, probably the last one for a long time. I'd like maybe do a late night comics great, hogging the covers where we'll talk about covers. So I'll try to make the most out of this last week. All right. So I'll see you. Bye-bye.